They promise an energizing experience before, during, and after construction. It's not enough that you get a quality building. They pledge you'll experience quality every step of the way. Consolidated Construction. OneCallToBuild.com.
My reason why is community.
My reason why is leadership.
My reason why is to inspire others.
Why do thousands of teenagers here in South Dakota participate in high school sports and activities?
My reason why is friendship.
Their reasons are as diverse as the students themselves. But the one thing they all share is the opportunity to have fun and learn important life lessons. Lessons like supporting their community, learning how to be a leader, and building lifelong friendships.
My reason why is defying expectations.
Is there a grade school or middle school student in your family? Then encourage them to participate in a sport or activity when they go to high school.
My reason why is to make a change in the world.
This message presented by the NFHS and the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
And 200, 2 and a quarter, 2 to the bid, 1 bomb, 50, want to get 250 here, no 75, 275, now 3.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson Auction Company. We can turn your property to cash. We can sell your personal property and your real estate at auction. A family business for 64 years and counting. We've sold several millions of dollars in property over the years. We're happy to consult with you on your auction plans. Let our selling experience work for you. Call McPherson Auction, 605-348-1369. Visit us on our web at McPhersonAuction.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Here's what you need to know.
The Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, and the New York Giants are almost on the clock as the 2025 NFL Draft is just a few hours away. It starts from Green Bay, Wisconsin at 8 Eastern. The NBA playoffs also continue later today. 3 Game 3s. First from Detroit, Pistons and Knicks. Tip-off is at 7 Eastern. That series is tied at 1 apiece. Then the Grizzlies are going to host the Thunder, who lead the series 2-0 at 9:30 Eastern. And it ends from LA with the first playoff game at Intuit Dome as the Nuggets take on the Clippers in another series that is tied at 1 apiece with tip-off at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Milwaukee Bucks and general manager John Horst have agreed to a multi-year contract extension. In Major League Baseball, the Brewers are topping the Giants in San Francisco 5-4. It's the 8th inning, top of the 8th inning. The Mariners edge the Red Sox 4-3. The White Sox-Twins game was called off after a rain delay, with Chicago winning 3-0 in 7 innings. I'm Monty Bolaños.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. It is draft day Thursday. Are we ready? I had to take some Tylenol today. I had to take some Tylenol before the show. I'm ready to go. Open the choke, pull the cord, get me going today. I'm ready. The Nate Brown Show is back on. How you doing? Are you doing all right? Solid Thursday, I hope. It's always a great day in South Dakota. We know that. And it's South Dakota Sports Talk Show back and ready. Some energy tonight. We'll have some fun 2 hours leading you into the NFL Draft, where your team's going to pick and all the fun stuff. Got some great guests tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is live on Fox Sports Radio, and also follow the show and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. That's where you'll find us on Twitter, at Nate Brown Show, and YouTube. The channel is up. We just got some more subscribers. I like that. Big time. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Thanks for watching on there. We're ready to go. Let's take a look at what's on tap on the Nate Brown Show, brought to you by the new Campfire Bar. It's inside Mr. Liquor, South Dakota's best and biggest liquor store off Catron Boulevard in Rapid City. Campfire Bar features 20 South Dakota brews on tap and live sports. They'll have the draft on tonight, the NBA playoffs at the Campfire Bar inside the new Mr. Liquor off Catron Boulevard. What's on tap tonight? Michael Eisman going to join us live. He's the new South Dakota Mines men's basketball coach. Michael Eisman gets the job. He was an assistant at Missouri S&T. He gets the job at the RMAC at South Dakota Mines. We'll talk to him in his first radio interview coming up. Men's basketball coach for the Hard Rockers straight ahead. Then let's go national. Brian Noe is in tonight. Fox Sports Radio, host of Countdown to Kickoff. He's talking draft. Where's Brian going to stand tonight? One of our favorites, Brian Noe on live. And Zach Barnett's on from Dallas, college football national writer, footballscoop.com. Zach Barnett checks in some college football discussions. And people saying this next class of quarterbacks is, well, that's loaded, they said. And I scoff at that. I laugh at that. We'll get into it. Zach Barnett coming up, Football Scoop from Dallas. It is Thursday. That means Thursday happy hour leading us into the NFL draft. Our guest host is Rob Kagron. And tonight is going to be a night to have Rob in this studio. Tonight's going to be the night. You think you like Rob now? You're going to love it after we get done with him tonight. His Giants are prime real estate tonight. He's a New York City guy. He's been a national radio host throughout his career. So he's a New York City guy. He's a Giants guy. They got prime territory. And you know this. Third pick tonight for the New York Football Giants. Rob Kagron, our guest host, every Thursday on Happy Hour. In the second hour, he'll be live in studio. So hang with us. Let's get going on the Nate Brown Show. Invite you on 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. That's the number. The Pizza Ranch Studio hotline and the Barron's Wilson text line open and ready. Text the show. If you can't call us, next best thing, text us at 605-720-1067. That's the Barron's Wilson listener text line. One more, 605-720-1067. Welcome in. Thanks for making this show possible. Let's start with a little... let's start with a question of the day on the NFL draft. Kind of a fun one. I wonder where you land on this. I've got a clear number one team that jumps out to me. So I was just thinking about this because what happens tonight, somebody's going to make a mistake. Somebody's going to make a big mistake, maybe a few teams, where they have all this money invested, scouts and front office and analytics and the interviews and the combines and the whole thing. They put all of this into picking the right players tonight. And it's still not an exact science. We know that. So everybody that's watching tonight's like, oh, I'm excited about this guy. Yeah, the Vikings got a great player. We think so. We're not sure. Last year I was sitting in this chair. I did not know my Broncos were going to go get Bo Nix. I did not want my Broncos to get Bo Nix. I admit that. I was cringe last year. Thank you. I was cringe. I didn't want the Broncos to get Bo Nix, Mr. Dink and Dunk along the way at a good program like Oregon. He had good players around him. I thought, I don't think Bo Nix is going to be the savior of the Broncos. I might be wrong. I'm not totally set on that. But let me just say he had a nice year for what I expected from Bo Nix. So Sean Payton said, look at me. I'm going to do this, and we're going to bring the Broncos back. I thought when the Broncos did that last year at this time, I was like, what a reach is that? I'm just telling you, we all get it wrong. We don't have a clue how it's going to go, and these teams put so much effort into this. Tonight, somebody's going to make a big mistake. They're going to miss. They might draft Cam Ward. He's the heavy favorite to go 1 to the Tennessee Titans. And I don't know if Cam Ward, you tell me, how do you know if Cam Ward is going to be the best of the best, and we're going to be talking about him 5 years from now, and he is in the mix? We have no clue. If the Titans are going all in, number one pick, they are all in. Cam Ward is going to be the guy because you just have to take risks. You have to take risks. I'm going to ask you this question. Which NFL team throughout the years, when you sit down and you watch the NFL draft tonight, I want to ask this question. There's one team that jumps out to me. Which team, historically, over the years, to you, has the worst reputation in picking good draft picks? I want to go down that road. Which team has the worst reputation? Not like, oh, they're solid. They're these guys have picked bad players and you maybe remember some of the biggest busts ever, there's one team that jumps out to me. As a matter of fact, I can't even really think of any good players that they've taken early. Maybe except for last year. They finally did well. Last year, they finally did well. I'm going to unveil my team. But you tell me, okay? You tell me who jumps out. I've got a top 4 that I think you're going to vote for. So let's go to the text line if you can. 605-720-1067. First team that comes to your mind that has the worst reputation, they stink at doing the NFL draft. They stink. My top 4, let's see what you say, okay? 605-720-1067. Barron's Wilson text line. Vote on the Nate Brown Show. Question of the day. Which NFL team has the worst reputation over the years? Not just, last year they made a bad move. Or, now I'm talking over the years like they just screw stuff up. Now, there is some analytics to, or I should say some numbers to this. I looked this up because I thought, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to see what people say and what's the real story. Who has the worst performance of first-round picks? And PFF kind of graded some teams out since 2019. PFF, Pro Football Focus. They graded teams out to where who they took in the first round, are they still playing? This was 2019, going back to 2019. And then they went further to 2014. Okay, so are they still playing? Did they have good careers? Stuff like this. So I've got some teams that are on the list. Only one of them that is on this Pro Football Focus list, they kind of surprised me. One of them is on my list of teams with a bad reputation. But it's interesting. I'm getting votes on the text line, and you guys are knocking it out of the park so far. You've got all of my teams, well, except for one. I don't have this team yet. And this is my number one team. Terrible at drafting. One of the biggest bust drafts picks you've ever seen in your life. One of the biggest busts you've ever seen in your life. Do you guys remember this? So I'm going to get into it. But you tell me, which NFL team, worst reputation over the years when it comes to picking players in the NFL draft? Boy, I got some good votes here. Some good ones. Let's run through it. The Bears, hands down. Okay? They're in my top 4. They're in my top 4. The Bears were on the bubble for me. I'm like, did they make great picks in the first round? Did somebody jump out to you as the Bears to be like, oh, that's a great pick? Now, they went Caleb Williams, and by all accounts, I think they're good there. They didn't, I don't think they screwed that one up. So they went Caleb Williams, so maybe that brings the Bears back to some respect. But I do have the Bears in my list of just over the years going, they've been in this same spot for how long, and they can't get the right difference maker. Maybe that is Caleb Williams. So maybe. But they've been, treading water and just stuck in the mud, just struggling. There's another vote for the Bears. So maybe some of you Vikings fans are like, hey, the Bears stink. They've struggled. So I do put the Bears in my top 4. Bears are in my top 4. Here's some leading votes on the text line from you. The Cleveland Browns. I just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cleveland Browns. They're almost making everybody's list. And, of course, they made my list. Why do we bag on the Cleveland Browns? Was it because of Tim Couch? the pick from long ago, the quarterback that was the can't-miss number 1 QB. Does Tim Couch still take the Browns down? I mean, I'm trying to think. They did okay with Myles Garrett. I mean, that was big time. Didn't they get Denzel Ward out of Ohio State? Pretty solid. So I think the Browns have this reputation as just an organization that's bad. And so then we think they screw things up in the draft. Because I don't have, like, a huge example. Here's one, though. How about Johnny Manziel? Good call. Good call. So that was a whoops. But the Browns did go Baker Mayfield. Now, you can make an argument. Was that a bad pick at number 1? Did they reach for Baker Mayfield? Yet he's at Tampa Bay making a career out of this. So Mayfield maybe at 1 during that time was a reach, but he is in Tampa Bay getting the Buccaneers to the playoffs every now and then. But yeah, good call on Johnny Manziel. That was a bad one, but still not as bad as the team that has my number 1 spot as the worst reputation ever, because they might have one of the worst picks ever. And then you go back years and years ago, and it's even worse. Who's my number 1 team? Anybody? You got to guess. You guys, here's what I've got. I got people voting on the text line, 605-720-1067. Your votes are a ton for the Browns, a ton for the mostly Browns. There's some Jacksonville. There's some more Bears. Here's one that's in my top 4, the Jets. The Jets, and I'm getting votes here. I'm going New York Jets. How about the Jets and Dolphins and Giants? Jets, Dolphins, Giants. Okay, so I'm with you on that. So I've got, there's 3 that you've hit out of the park. NFL team worst reputation on draft night. Bears are in my top 4. Browns are in my top 4. Jets are in my top 4. Number 1, and it's not close, the Raiders. It's the Raiders. You tell me. You remember this? Sebastian Janikowski, first round. We're going to go kicker first round. It's like, what are the Raiders doing? Hey, let's go. The biggest bust you've ever seen. Sorry to tell you. I know. I'm sorry. I don't like calling guys busts, but it's the bust of all busts. Unbelievable player, right? All the physical tools. Jamarcus Russell. That's up there with Ryan Leaf. That is up there with Ryan Leaf. Sorry, Ryan, but he's a Montana guy. Sorry about that. Jamarcus Russell and the Raiders takes the cake. They finally went with the tight end from Georgia last year, and that was a good one. So, and I'm here to tell you, I think the Raiders are going to, do something dumb tonight. They're always kind of in the mix, top 10, because they always struggle. So they always have, a top 10 pick. They finally got it right with the tight end last year. That guy's a player. Because I see the Raiders twice a year as a Broncos fan. I get the Raiders, but they haven't hit on a ton of guys. They just do weird stuff. They just do bizarre stuff. And they're going to do something tonight when they should get Ashton Genty. They should just move up a little bit, maybe even from 6 or work a deal with somebody. And you should get Ashton Genty. They need a running back. Are they going to do it? A transformational running back, like a real deal player? Something tells me they'll just wait. Jacksonville will take Genty at 5. And the Raiders are going to go with, I don't know, a wide receiver. I mean, I'm just telling you that. So that's my number 1 team. I just bring up some of these references. Sebastian Janikowski of yesteryear, first-round pick. You never see it. Leave it to the Raiders to do a kicker. Well, he's awesome. Oh, he was a good kicker. First-round pick? Top 20? Wild. And then Jamarcus Russell, was he the number 1? Was he the number 1? I'd have to go back on that, but he jumps out. Jamarcus Russell was bad. All-time bust, like Tim Couch style, Ryan Leaf style. I guess Johnny Manziel, you could throw him in there with the Browns. Jacksonville's making your list as well. So this is a good one here. A couple of people voting for the Tennessee Titans. Who does Pro Football Focus have? Instead of just going by my thought that it's the Raiders, they do have the Raiders at the top of their list going back to 2014. They say a decade of first-round struggles for the Raiders, perhaps the team most known for reaching in the first round. 6 first-round selections have turned into 1 capable starter. 6 first-round selections in the last years have turned into 1 starter, and that was a running back. Youch. Jacksonville making their list. So this is Pro Football Focus now, the teams that have drafted the worst. Raiders, and then they go Jaguars. They have had 12 first-round picks. They've had a ton of capital over the years, and including the number 1 overall pick twice. And they say they have hardly any of these guys that have hung on. Hardly any of the players that have hung on. Jalen Ramsey was one that was a home run pick, and then say Trevor Lawrence is not quite living up to where he was. So let's see. More teams that struggle, according to Pro Football Focus, the Patriots. So they say you really wouldn't think about it because Belichick's just kind of, well, he's just built that dynasty up there. But when you think about Belichick, the last 6 years? What is Belichick? I mean, the Patriots, they just haven't drafted well. Do you remember any stars? Do you remember the Patriots picking up that was smart? He's just kind of getting guys that are like, I'm going to make them better than everybody says they are. I'm going to develop them. It's the Patriot way. I'm going to get the guys that nobody thinks are that good, but I know they're good. And that's why the Patriots have not drafted well, according to Pro Football Focus. And last on their list, out of the top 5 of Pro Football Focus dating back to 2014, the Tennessee Titans. Some of their first-round picks you may not remember much. Marcus Mariota, he's still in the league, not great. Rashaan Evans, linebacker. Caleb Farley, cornerback. I mean, so there's some guys. One guy, Jeffrey Simmons, defensive player, he's still pretty good. Listener text, how about the Cowboys? No, that's the Cowboys have actually done pretty well. They've done pretty well. You'd have to take a look. You take a look for yourself. I had a guy vote for the Cowboys just now. Take a look. They've drafted pretty well. We can pick on Jerry Jones and the crew there. They've drafted some dudes. It's the Raiders. What are they going to do tonight? They're picking 6th. And they're going to be like, Ashton Jeanty, that's a transformational guy. I think we should get him. We need a running back. He's maybe one of the best. Let's go with a D. Let's go with another rush end. Let's do that. It'll be all right. And you know who's going to make the big mistake? The Giants tonight. You heard it here first. Giants aren't going to take Shedeur Sanders. They're going to go with Abdul Carter. And you're not going to hear from Abdul Carter as a major, major player for a long time. They're just going to take the safe way because they're scared tonight. Brian Noah's in next. Fox Sports Radio, national host of Countdown to Kickoff on the way.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Military, first responders, teachers, Renewal by Andersen is offering a heartfelt thank you with its first ever appreciation sale. 20% off every window and door, no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Plus an additional 9% off if purchased on the initial consultation. That's 29% off. Military, first responders, teachers, this is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Please book your free estimate right now at rbarapidcity.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Rain likely tonight, otherwise overcast. Lows dip down to about 34. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance for mixed precipitation changing to all rain tomorrow. Highs level off around 47. Overcast skies. Slight chance of rain showers tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 41. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 35 degrees.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker, Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. NFL Draft Night tonight. First round tonight. Interesting stuff. I had a listener ask me, what should this team do? What should that team do? That's why I got to get guys like Brian Noe on. I'm just wondering what my Broncos are going to do, what your Vikings are going to do. I'm curious if the Giants are going to screw this up by taking Abdul Carter, who they're going to tell you is a great player. It's a safe, great player, safe play. That's the Bradley Chubb pick from 2018. That's the Bradley Chubb pick over Josh Allen for the Broncos. Broncos picking number 5, and they got scared. That's what the Giants are going to do tonight. We'll talk to Rob Kagron. He's a Giants fan at a New York City tonight. He's live in studio. Thursday Happy Hour is coming up with Rob. It's going to be fun, let me tell you. Brian Noe is on tonight. Let's ask him what should go down. Host of Countdown on Fox Sports Radio. You hear him on the weekends. Great show. Brian, welcome in. How are you?
I'm great, Nate Brown. Look at you, man, spitting fire today. I love the hot takes, the strong stances. So if I get this right, you're low on Abdul Carter, or what? You're high on Shedeur Sanders, where he's going to beat Josh Allen? How does this work out exactly?
Okay, so here's how this is. You just have to take the best quarterback on the board if you're top 5, and you need a QB. So you have to do it, because if it doesn't work out in the NFL, you'll just try again. But if you miss and Shedeur Sanders goes on to be the guy in Pittsburgh or wherever, the Giants are still spinning their wheels. They're going to tell you Abdul Carter's a good player. Well, so was Bradley Chubb, and that 25 cents gets me nothing. Okay?
Yeah, interesting, Nate. Listen, you know I love you, and I totally understand your argument right there. I'm going to disagree with you, because I get it, and I won't go on a long spiel, but I get it. Every team has got to find a quarterback one way or another, and you're spinning your wheels until you find one. So I get the idea of swinging, but I think it's like literally swinging at a pitch. You can't just swing at any pitch and expect to get a hit. You know, if there's a ball out of the zone and it's a knuckle curve out of the zone, that's probably not a good pitch to swing at. You know, it's like the Colts drafted Anthony Richardson 4th overall. How did that help them? So I get swinging, but I'm a little bit more selective with the pitches that I'm swinging at. And so number 3 overall, I'm not swinging at the Shedeur Sanders pitch, is what I would say. But I totally understand where you're coming from on that. Okay. And we could agree. You got to find your quarterback somehow, some way, or you're not going anywhere.
So I say it this way. The Titans went with Will Levis. That didn't work out. They're going to try it again with Cam Ward. And so they're going to go number 1 overall pick with Cam Ward. and he's that much better than everyone else, I'm not buying it. So they're swinging. They're just going to go down swinging.
Yeah, they're swinging, but I think the Titans are making a huge mistake. I would not take Cam Ward number 1 overall when, listen, there are a lot of draft evaluators, personnel evaluators that will tell you if Cam Ward came out in last year's draft, he'd be the 7th quarterback off the board. Some people believe that. And so, number 1 overall is way too rich of a price tag for me when you've got Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter right there. So this, to me, is a little bit – I'm not saying Cam Ward is going to be Jake Locker because Jake Locker fizzled out completely. But you're maybe drafting a Jake Locker-type player instead of J.J. Watt. That literally happened to the Tennessee Titans in 2011, and history could be repeating itself. I just think Cam Ward's going to be a guy in the NFL. I don't see top 5. I don't see top 10. I don't see anything special. I see that he could be a starter. He could be around for a while. He's Tannehill-esque. You know, you could win some games, but he's not going to be a difference maker. His decision-making is far too shaky. I just don't see how that's going to right itself, and he's going to be top 10. I don't see that ever happening. So I would not be doing that at all, but that's exactly what the Titans are going to do, and they're just going to have blind faith and hope it works out.
Brian Noe joining us tonight talking draft. He is the host of Countdown on Fox Sports Radio. Brian Noe on the Nate Brown Show tonight. So do you think the Browns are going to make a great call by getting Travis Hunter?
I do. I think they are. We'll see. I love it. All the speculation. It's kind of like being back in grade school with all the rumors and the gossip, Nate. You know, it's like we're back to that stage as adults where it's like, oh, I heard that the Bears are going to trade up and draft Ashton Genty. And then somebody else is like, oh, I heard that the Browns are going with Travis Hunter. And, you know, yeah, we're just estimated guesses. And I get that there are beat reporters and they have a little bit more access. But I just think this is a giant game of Texas Hold'em, Nate. If you want to draft a certain player, why would you tell anyone those are your plans? So that's what I think is going to happen. I feel pretty strongly Travis Hunter is going to the Browns. But make no mistake, once you get past 2 or 3, this is massive speculation. And I think that we just kind of follow the trends of what makes the most sense mock draft-wise. We're just guessing because if you're smart at all, you're not going to tell a media guy like, hey, I've got Pocket Kings right now. You would just keep that to yourself. So I think that media people are trying to connect the dots the best they can or just taking educated guesses, and we take it as if it's gospel. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the top 10, the top picks are littered with guys where you're like, whoa, that wasn't on anybody's mock draft. Michael Penix Jr. went number 8 overall last year. Right. No one had that. So we're in store for some surprises. I don't think Travis Hunter is one of them, though.
Okay, longtime Denver sports reporter. He's pretty plugged in, Woody Page, and he's on Around the Horn. Woody Page reported this afternoon the Broncos at number 20 have a lot of teams that are trying to get up to 20, to trade back in to 20. So that would be before the Steelers could take a QB. So he's saying the Broncos could get like 3 draft picks if they traded back and gave somebody number 20. Then Bleacher Report in their final mock draft just now said Browns are going to go Hunter at number 2, trade back in at 20, and get Shedeur.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I could see it happening. I could also see a team saying, we think Jackson Dart is better. I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson Dart goes ahead of Shedeur. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out, Nate. Do the Saints go QB at all? There are some beat reporters that laugh at the idea of the Saints drafting any quarterback in the first round. So if that turns out to be the case, and you've got both Dart and Sanders on the board, I'm curious if there's a team that says, yeah, we think Dart's the better prospect or is going to end up being the better pro. Like, that's the thing, Nate. I don't think this is prisoner of the moment. I don't remember a draft where teams differ so much on a lot of these first-round prospects. There'll be a team that's like, oh, yeah, we definitely think Shedeur should be a top 10 pick. And then some other team's like, yeah, no, not at all. They might not even need a quarterback, and they're telling you that. So pretty interesting how much teams differ on these prospects, and that's why I'm so excited for tonight. I think that's the ingredients of massive surprises and one team drafting a player that is a quote-unquote lower prospect. It's all about, in their eyes, who is the better prospect and who will be the better pro, and we're going to get a lot of disagreements as far as all of that goes.
Okay, I got a question of the day tonight, and I twisted it around a little bit. I said there's going to be teams that make mistakes tonight, and then there's going to be busts and the whole thing. There are teams that seem like they just have more bad picks than not. So I said, which NFL team over the years, Brian Noe, has the worst reputation for messing up first-round draft picks, essentially? Which team, I ask you, pops into your head now, these guys haven't really picked the right guy?
The first team that pops into my head is the Raiders.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
And you can find a couple of teams that have some pretty bad track records, but man, the Raiders have had some swings and misses. For years it was, man, off the top of my head, it was, Robert Gallery before Larry Fitzgerald. It was, gosh, you'd have to go back to 2013. I think it was maybe Fabian Washington ahead of Aaron Rodgers. You'd have to fact check me on this, but there were like 3-4 drafts where you look at the Raiders pick that washed out and the next pick who was unbelievable, Nate. And you've got some of these swings and misses where they fascinated with the traits, the speed, and they fizzle out a lot of the time. So that's the team that jumps in my head first of all, Nate.
That was mine as well. We didn't talk about this, right, Brian? We did not. No, we don't do any pre-show prep. So my number one is the Raiders, and here's the two that jump out from years ago, though. Jamarcus Russell. Russell, number one pick, just a disaster. It's up there with, Ryan Leaf and some of these all-timers. And then getting in the first round for Sebastian Janikowski. I mean, he's a fine kicker. It was a kicker in the first round. That's why the Raiders are at the top for me. 41% of the audience on the Nate Brown Show is voting the Raiders has the worst reputation. The Browns coming in second. The Browns. People still don't forgive them for Tim Couch and Johnny Manziel. They just don't forgive them. Okay, I want to ask you, how about your Dolphins? Number 13 tonight. Are you excited? Do you have any clue? What do you want from your Dolphins?
Man, Nate, you know what? They got to get tougher in the trenches. The Dolphins, their roster, they're just too pretty. You've got to have some big uglies in the trenches pushing people around, O-line and D-line, and they're lacking both. Their D-line is so thin. Teron Armstead on the O-line retired. They have holes all over the place in the trenches. And you've seen this for years play out, Nate, where they get into the playoffs and they're just getting pushed around. It's a team that they're precise. They rely on a lot of precision, a lot of timing, and that's great. But you've got to have the physicality in the trenches as well, and they have greatly lacked that. So I'm very much hopeful for a lot of help in the trenches because they're just far too pretty. And on top of that, Nate, they're losing some of their pretty players. I don't mean that, specifically. I mean, the non-linemen, not an O lineman, not a D lineman. They're losing Jalen Ramsey, right? Jalen Ramsey, he'll come up and smack you. I don't mean that he's soft. I just mean he's not an O lineman or a D lineman. He doesn't play in the trenches. So they're weak in the trenches, and now they're losing some of their impact players who aren't in the trenches. So their roster is quickly becoming a mess, Nate. So I just hope that they get some help with the big uglies up front, because we got to start pushing people around instead of getting pushed around.
Brian Noe on tonight, draft night. He loves it. Love having him on Fox Sports Radio, national host. The show is Countdown with Brian Noe and the crew. Brian, good to have you. Enjoy it, man. Thanks.
Hey, man, always good to hang with you, Nate, especially on draft night. Can't wait for this, even though I'm going to be flying and miss, half of it.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah. Good luck. You can stay up to speed. Brian Noah tonight, Fox Sports Radio. See, that was why we had to get him on. He's going to be flying, so we got to get him on, shoot the draft around. Host of Countdown here on Fox Sports Radio. Brian Noah getting us started on draft night. Who should the Dolphins take? He said you got to get tough. Listener text coming in. The Dolphins should take an offensive tackle or Sanders. Yeah, I don't think they'll take Sanders, but what about a guard? Not an offensive tackle. What about a guard like Gray Zabel out of Pierce, South Dakota? What about that? He's a guard. They're thinking Gray Zabel could go high here. So some people have thrown out the Vikings might be able to hang in there and get Gray Zabel at 24. And then some people say, no, Zabel out of Pierre, of course, he played at NDSU. He's going to go before the Vikings even pick. So keep an eye on that. Gray Zabel, South Dakota kid, going to be going off the board. They think could happen fairly early tonight. Let's go to Zach Barnett next. He's a national college football writer for Football Scoop. He's a great analyst of who are the best college quarterbacks. I'm going to ask him what he thinks about these guys this year that are going to try and get drafted tonight. And then he said, what about next year's class? Are they better? That's what everybody keeps saying. I'm not buying it, but Zach Barnett will tell me next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Save big money on your next staining project right now at Menards. Pittsburgh's Ultra Advanced Semi-Transparent Exterior Stain and Sealant in 1 can be applied on damp wood, allowing you to clean the surface and stain in 1 day. Save big on Ultra Advanced Exterior Stain and Sealant. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
The best used cars and trucks are at the place that sells the best used cars and trucks, Denny Menho Toyota. Choose from better quality pre-owned and buy with no down and make no payments for 90 days. Shop used Toyotas and Toyota certified pre-owned with financing as low as 4.99% APR for up to 60 months. For the best used vehicles, see us first at Denny Menho Toyota or DennyMenhoToyota.com. 1887 for 1,000 finance, regardless of down with qualified credit. Expires 4/30/2025.
As a rancher in western South Dakota, you know the meaning of hard work. From working cattle to working in the field, you know that the job begins before dawn and can last into the night. You also know that at the end of the day, it's more than just work. It's a way of life. When it comes to banking, you need a bank that values your time and is committed to your growth. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Cadillac Jacks is Deadwood's exclusive home of the Roaring Riches Jackpot. Just be actively playing your favorite slot machine with your club card engaged for your chance to win. The Roaring Riches Jackpot starts at $7,500 and must hit by $10,000. Plus, you can keep up to the minute on the current Roaring Riches total on your Cadillac Jacks mobile app. Roaring Riches has already paid out $2 million. Anyone at any time on any spin. You could be the next to win. Only at Cadillac Jacks Gaming Resort.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail. Well, time to see how your car will weather the winter.
That it is. Let's make sure your vehicle is ready to handle the warm months ahead.
Being a AAA and ASE certified shop, I know you guys are well equipped to do just that.
Justin and our techs have all the experience you need in diagnosing and repairing whatever may be ailing your vehicle.
And if finances are tight for customers, you can help there?
Yes, we can.
We offer the AutoPass card, which has really been a huge help for people who are in dire need of repairs. Call us with any questions on this program, or you can get an answer in minutes right from our homepage at anytimeanytime.com. Just click the AutoPass Apply Now button.
What a great option for those who have repairs that just can't wait.
Absolutely. It's been a fantastic opportunity for many people.
Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASE certified automotive repair specialist. See anytimeanytime.com and at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is live, Fox Sports Radio across South Dakota. Thanks for being here at South Dakota Sports Talk Show, streaming all the time on X. You can pick us up every afternoon there on X. Follow the show and watch us live in studio at Nate Brown Show. You can watch us on your phone. Follow the show at Nate Brown Show. Thursday happy hour is on tap for the second hour. Hang on. Rob Kegron's coming in, New York City native. National radio host, great career with Rob Kegron. They were lucky to get him in studio every Thursday. He is a Giants homer, and I'm going to take him to task tonight. The Giants are going to screw it up tonight. We'll talk to him. Rob Kegron, our guest host, next hour. Zach Barnett, he's in. College football national writer, footballscoop.com. They got the new site, new layout, footballscoop.com. Zach, welcome in. How are you?
Doing well, Nate. Great to be back.
Appreciate you coming on. So I want to talk to you about these QBs. You're not an NFL draft analyst, but you're a college football guy. So people are saying, well, these guys tonight at QB, Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, they're no good. They're just, whoever takes them, I guess, good luck. How should we see these guys?
Let's just start here that I hope Old Takes Exposed isn't listening because, really, with the NFL, we're all kind of guessing, especially when it comes to quarterback play, and especially with this class. I may crap on these guys, and then the four of them may become Pro Bowlers. Having said that, I think best case scenario, one or two of these guys become eventually league average as peak of their career. And if you can get league average quarterback play at rock bottom prices, comparatively speaking, especially on these guys' rookie deals, then you probably come away happy with that. But I don't see a future MVP or Hall of Fame or anything like that in this class. I really don't.
Is Cam Ward above the others high enough to take him as number one here in an hour and a half?
See, I think clearly the best player in this draft is Travis Hunter. And the second best player in this draft is Ashton Jeanty. And if I'm the Titans, I would take Travis Hunter and not think twice about it. But I understand, obviously, quarterback, it's important, dwarfs that of the other positions. And considering the rookie scale, it probably makes more financial sense to take your chances with Cam Ward. But I would take Travis Hunter first overall. Cam Ward, the argument for him, he's got a big-time arm, had it since he was a slot T quarterback in high school in the Houston area. And when he was at Miami, it really looked like he was playing college football on freshman mode on the college football video game. Like, I've never seen a player play with the nonchalance that he did just because it seemed like he had all the answers to the test. And everyone else was out there just straining, and he was seeing 2-3 moves ahead. So if he succeeds, it's because of his competitive nature and his mental mastery of the game, in my opinion.
Zach Barnett joining us, national college football writer, footballscoop.com. You want to hit it. Does Shedeur Sanders take a hit? I know from the play, holds onto the ball, not very athletic, so there's some of that stuff from the scouts. I want to know if you think he takes a hit from the Deion phenomenon, from the money sign phenomenon. Does he take a hit and teams say, I don't want to go down that road?
I'm sure some will, but at the end of the day, all it takes is one. So I'm certain that there are teams that have decided that they don't want to be in the Sanders business. But I know Mike Tomlin talked about it and said he's not afraid to go out and take Shedeur if that's the way the Steelers go, and it certainly looks like that's what's going to happen. And I have the utmost respect for Mike Tomlin, and he's one of the most experienced head coaches in the league. He's not afraid from bringing big personalities into his room.
I just saw Dan Orlovsky say next year's class is loaded. It was capitalized, loaded. Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, Nico Imaliava, Cade Klubnik, Carson Beck. I'm going, huh? But you tell me, I mean, is that loaded?
Yeah, it's funny. And following recruiting for 20-plus years, without fail, the class after the current crop of seniors is always better than this one. The next class is always loaded. So it's funny to see that applied to the draft as well. I certainly wouldn't say that is loaded, especially when it comes to the 2026 class. Like, look, Arch Manning, you're probably not going to find a bigger Arch Manning fan than me. But even if he goes out and wins the Heisman next year, the numbers say he's going to need to come back. It's really tough to succeed at the NFL level after only starting as a college quarterback for one season. So Dante Moore is probably more of a 2027 draft prospect. Cade Klubnik, yeah, I love Cade Klubnik. I'm not sure he alone. Drew Aller looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. Nico Iamaleava, that's a story unto itself.
Yeah.
I definitely would not say that's loaded.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of college football questions, and it deals with Iamaleava. He goes from Tennessee to UCLA. They do a switcheroo on QBs. The UCLA transfer who came in goes to Tennessee. And then the brother, Madden of Nico, he's leaving Arkansas to go to UCLA. And Arkansas is trying to recoup some of the NIL money, supposedly. Maybe $200,000 worth is the reporting. So is this people made that a big deal. Oh, Arkansas is going on the record to try and get some money back for the first time. What shouldn't they be able to get that back?
Yeah, it's funny. If we had a fully professional model, then this type of thing would not be allowed to happen. But since we don't, the version of a collective bargaining agreement that we have in college athletics is just a series of thousands of different contracts that players sign with collectives. And I think probably everyone's rooting for Tennessee to win the breakup with Nico, for Arkansas to go get its money back, just to bring some sanity into the system.
Yeah, I was surprised. I'm like, well, Arkansas is trying to get the money back. That's a big deal. I would think they'd be able to get money back if they did a deal with the kid and then he's no longer there. But maybe that happens more times than not. Zach Barnett on tonight. Let me ask you about this new Kentucky thing that just came out. Kentucky's athletic department looking to go into an LLC. They say that's going to, put them in a new model here and position them better, flexibility and stuff. An athletic department into an LLC. What do we think?
It seems inevitable that within a few years, all the major athletic departments will do this. And it seems like it's, I guess, step 3 in probably the 5-step plan to fully professionalize college athletics. And now that pretty soon, since you're not going to be playing for the University of Kentucky, you're going to be signing your contract with Champions Blue LLC. That's what they're going to call it at Kentucky. Then you can be deemed an employee, and then you are bound to play for that LLC for 2-3 years, whatever you sign, and you can't transfer until after that. And if Kentucky cuts you, then they have to pay you a buyout. It seems like that's where we're heading, a professionalized model, because right now it's kind of half professional, half not. So that would get us to fully professional, and it's a little bit gross, I have to admit. But at the same time, it's better than this purgatory that we're in right now.
The proposal at Kentucky to go to an LLC in their athletic department being considered this week by the Board of Trustees. Zach Barnett on tonight on draft night. Follow his work at footballscoop.com. Zach_Barnett on Twitter. Zach, appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me, Nate.
Appreciate it. Zach Barnett on the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota. Footballscoop.com, national college football writer. Zach Barnett. Yeah, Kentucky just announced that their athletic department's going to a new model. They're trying to become an LLC, Champions Blue LLC. Zach saying, well, this is the step to make it a employment type deal with the athletes. Kentucky, the first one to go down this road. The Limited Liability Company. All right. There's a South Dakota basketball guy. This guy's been around South Dakota basketball for a long time. He just said today, I think high school kids might want to try this instead of going to a 4-year university. Wow, that's interesting. Who said it? We'll discuss it next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
I was the cool dad. My kids wanted me to take them to the mall. I didn't think anything about doing it in front of them, even though I knew it was illegal. Then my oldest started driving. Like father, like son. Gotta read that text right now. But he took a life, and now his is shattered too.
Addiction has many faces. Texting and driving when you know it's life-threatening and illegal can be one of them. Take back control. Put the phone down.
Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
It's the trade-in sell-down event at Spearfish GMC Cadillac, and that means lot-wide deals on our entire lineup of locally sourced pre-owned vehicles. Choose from all makes and models, trucks, cars, SUVs, and certified pre-owned, all priced below market for unbeatable value. Whether you're trading in or trading up, now is the time to save big at Spearfish Motors. Visit us today or browse anytime at spearfishmotors.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Rain likely tonight, otherwise overcast. Lows dip down to about 34. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance for mixed precipitation changing to all rain tomorrow. Highs level off around 47. Overcast skies. Slight chance of rain showers tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 41. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 35 degrees.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at BHOSC.com.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear. Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Say it with me. Hope you've had a solid Thursday. Thanks for checking in on the Nate Brown Show tonight, Fox Sports Radio. Michael Eisman's coming up. He's the new South Dakota Mines men's basketball coach in his first interview. That's straight ahead next. Michael Eisman on the way. Coming to South Dakota Mines. as the head men's basketball coach. Thursday happy hours on tap. A lot of draft talk tonight. We've had great guests so far. We'll get back to the draft coming up. Rob Kegron's our guest host from New York City for his New York Giants. What are they going to do tonight, Rob? This should be fun. He's coming up Thursday happy hour straight ahead. I want to go to this in South Dakota high school basketball this day and age. It's so interesting what high school players are doing, trying to get to college. These high school basketball players that have college opportunities. In the past, it's usually, I'm going to go to the four-year institution, I'm going to develop, I'm going to be a great player by the time I'm a junior and senior, and that's out the window. So now colleges are doing the transfer portal thing, so they're trying to get older guys to transfer in instead of getting high school seniors. And there's been a long-time basketball guy here in this state. You may know him, Paul Seville. So I've followed him over the years, talked to him a lot. We've had him on the show running the Dakota Schoolers. The Dakota Schoolers was really the first AAU basketball club, right? One of the first. High-profile players across South Dakota that played all over the country and got some huge scholarships. So Paul Seville made this comment today. Best advice for high school basketball seniors in today's transfer portal and lack of basketball scholarships is to just seek a solid junior college program where you can go and play and develop, then move on to a higher level. Paul Seville from South Dakota said colleges are not giving scholarships to high school seniors anymore. So when he says that, he's obviously they're giving some, but he's been in that world, and he's saying the scholarships are limited these days. So go to a junior college and then go on to a higher level. So you get right into a JUCO, you play, you develop, you play a pretty high level, then you get an opportunity. And that ruling that just went down months ago, the JUCO eligibility years don't count against your NCAA years. So now you can, I don't know how long you want to stay in college, but maybe a long time. So you could go JUCO a couple of free years, then go D1 from there. By the way, one of the latest guys to do it, I don't know if you missed this today on the Nate Brown Show, Caleb Hollenbeck. Caleb Hollenbeck went JUCO out of St. Thomas More, Rapid City. He went JUCO in Wyoming. He just signed with Marshall, the Marshall Thundering Herd. So how about that? Very interesting. And then I thought, that's an interesting comment from Paul Seville, been around basketball a long time in South Dakota. He said the best way to do it, he says now, seek a solid JUCO program where you'll play and develop, then go 4-year. Will we see more high school players doing that? Let's talk to Michael Eisman. He's in this. He's the head men's basketball coach at South Dakota Mines. They got to recruit. He's got to try and get this program cranking in Rapid City. He's the new head coach for the Hard Rockers, Michael Eisman. His story next.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Military, first responders, teachers, Renewal by Andersen is offering a heartfelt thank you with its first ever appreciation sale. 20% off every window and door, no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Plus an additional 9% off if purchased on the initial consultation. That's 29% off. Military, first responders, teachers, this is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Please book your free estimate right now at rbarapidcity.com.
Heritage Home Lending in Rapid City is a proud supporter of high school sports. Heritage Home Lending is your locally owned mortgage brokerage, specializing in VA home loans. At Heritage Home Lending, you get to work with local people, offering competitive financing for purchasing and refinancing. Heritage Home Lending is committed to helping our service members and veterans with specific expertise in VA home loans. For all your home loan needs, work with a local company that you can trust. Get started at heritagehomelending.sd.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Looks like winter is losing its grip and we are headed for warmer weather to come. How did your car make it through the winter? Hi, this is Martin from Al's D&I Repair. Winter is hard on your car, especially on the components underneath. The sand and chemicals that make winter driving safer can affect the brakes, chassis, and exhaust parts. While you have your car in for routine maintenance, we'll inspect your car to make sure you are set for spring and summer travels.
Al's D&I Repair on Sturgis Road. Call 348-1447 to set up your appointment.
Okay, ma'am, just a few rules to follow for your new windows and doors.
Okay.
No washing.
For how long?
Forever. No shades, no furniture within 4 feet of the window.
How am I going to do that?
Yeah, I'd stack your furniture in the center of the room, and after the first rain, stay away from the window.
You're freaking me out.
There's no need to be freaked out about installing new doors or windows. Renewal by Andersen has installed over 100,000 windows and doors.
Oh, and don't lean on the window. We wouldn't want you falling out.
I can't lean against the window?
No, you can lean, just don't put any weight on it.
The guy who sold me the windows didn't tell me that.
Don't know. I'm just a subcontractor for the contractor.
Renewal by Andersen has master craftsmen who follow your job from start to finish.
Oh, and the picture window in the back room, it was an odd size, so we made it a little smaller.
How much smaller?
Yeah, about 5 feet smaller.
Yeah, well, now it's not a picture window.
Well, sure it is, if you hang a picture on it.
Brilliant.
Yep, that's why you pay us the big bucks. By the way, I only take cash.
Make the best decision for your home with exclusive custom-fit Acclaim windows and ensemble doors. Only from Renewal by Andersen. Learn more at rbarapidcity.com.
One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome back in on a big Thursday. You know that. Sports fans are jacked tonight, an hour away from the NFL Draft. We've been covering it tonight. We'll get more to it with Rob Kegron, our guest host every Thursday. It's Thursday Happy Hour with Rob Kegron coming in live in studio. We'll talk a lot of draft straight ahead. If you miss parts of the show on the Nate Brown Show, go to the podcast. You can get every guest, every segment. Just search the Nate Brown Show wherever you get your podcast, and you've got us on demand on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Search the Nate Brown Show, and you've got the podcast. Busy show tonight. Well, I've been wanting to talk to this guy. He just took the job. He's getting set to go at South Dakota Mines. New men's basketball coach, Michael Eisman, and he joins us live on South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio. Coach, good to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing great. It was a great first week with feet on campus, and excited to be in Rapids and excited to be on the show with you, Nate. Thank you.
You're off and running. So I want to tell everybody your story and kind of get into this. So lately you've been at Missouri S&T. So Missouri S&T, you've been an assistant there. Now you get the head job at South Dakota Mines. I put 2 and 2 together there. Missouri S&T, similar academics, similar type student athlete as South Dakota Mines. Do you believe that fits you?
100%. I mean, I tell people all the time, I've been coaching college basketball for 10 years, and, I hadn't really been in the quote-unquote high academic and or the engineering STEM sector of a school until I got to Missouri S&T a couple years ago. And, not knowing any different, I just kind of embraced it and, had a great 2 years and kind of fell in love with really the engineering STEM sector. I think it's one of the few places in the country at any level of college basketball this day and age that retention and development can still take place and on a year-to-year basis at a high rate. And so that really excites me. Obviously the benefits of getting to work with forward-thinking, mature, for the most part, student-athletes that are looking to do big things, on the basketball floor, but also for the rest of their life and get a degree that's going to kind of be a golden ticket to life. I think that's really, really exciting. I kind of have the blueprint that I feel like we can be successful with, that we use at Missouri S&T, and obviously had a special season and a special year and made history and did things that hadn't been done before there. And, that's the vision and that's the goal here at South Dakota Mines. And, I wouldn't have taken the job if I didn't think we could do that and get there. So I'm really excited to move forward and try to live that out and make those things happen.
Michael Eisman joining us. He's the new South Dakota Mines men's basketball coach, takes over the Hard Rocker program here on the Nate Brown Show. You mentioned it. I'm going to ask about it. Retention. So it's hard to retain players in most places. And it might be kind of hard at this place, but these student athletes maybe think, okay, I'm here to play college basketball, compete hard. You got to be a really good player, but I'm also here for the academic side. Do you think South Dakota Mines, these programs, are a little more insulated from the transfer portal, or do you still have to be in that game?
Yeah, I think you're as insulated as you possibly can be at a school like this. I don't think in this day and age that there's anything, any such thing as being 100% insulated, though. Whether it's us, lose a guy here or there, retention hopefully is going to be close to 100, but I'd be lying if I said it is going to be 100. You look at any school in the country, that's very rare this day and age. But, the good thing is, too, is, if we do it right, we give the kids a great experience. We recruit the right guys to the university that really value the high academic, the engineering, the STEM degrees that we specialize in at South Dakota Mines. Then, I think that retention rate can be high, and I really do think we can keep guys around and develop them. It's just, it's one of those things that, some of these guys, even at the Division II level, are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars of NIL offered to them if they go in there and, they're a high-level player at the Division II level, and, Division I, they're trying to get them. But, it kind of becomes are we thinking for right now, instant gratification, or are we thinking a 30, 40-year plan? And when you sacrifice $10,000 to $15,000 a year in salary impact, potentially, from going to maybe a different school that doesn't have that advantage like a South Dakota Mines, then you kind of have to do the 20, 30-year math problem. How much more money am I going to make in the next 20, 30 years because I graduated from Mines, or am I going to go take $100,000 right now, or whatever that figure might be, and put that in your account. So, it's a unique situation, and, that's something I've learned a lot, and, I think kind of my philosophy, and Coach Walker, my previous boss at Missouri S&T, was, notorious. It's adapt or die. It's, the saying of a dying company is we've always done it that way. Well, if you keep approaching college basketball or, probably most areas of life like that, and it's going to be tough, So I think that's something that we just have to keep adapting and, try to be at the curve, if not ahead of the curve, at the very least. So, yeah, that's a great question.
Coach, let me ask you your background here. You're at Bemidji State. You're at Jamestown. So it's familiar. People around here, they know, okay, those schools. Does that help you from, hey, I kind of know the area, I know the players, I know the recruiting base, although you probably need to go nationals here a little bit with the engineering side, but does being at Jamestown, for example, help you at Mines?
Yeah, most definitely. I think that's I think there's a few main reasons I was probably selected as the new head coach of South Dakota Mines, which I'm very blessed and thankful for, but I think that was probably one that, I checked the regional box, and having been, I call it the upper Midwest for 6 of the 10 years of my career, I think that definitely helped me in the process, but it also is going to help me from the get-go. I mean, I'm not going to completely be relearning the area. I'm not going to, be completely brand new just because I have been here and, have a lot of recruiting connections in this area. There's still people I want to meet and people that I'll be meeting this year and throughout my career at South Dakota Mines. But yeah, I think that's definitely a big part. And, my goal is to, keep the best engineering students in South Dakota home. I mean, I want them to want to be here and, and a reason why. And, I think that's obviously exciting for our fans and exciting for the people around Rapids and in the state of South Dakota. And, there's a lot of good players in South Dakota, so I think that is a very realistic thing.
Michael Eisman on tonight. Glad to have him. South Dakota Mines, new men's basketball coach for the Hard Rockers. I'll look at this and I'll let you go. You had success there at Missouri S&T. You talked about that. What did you do? How do you replicate that at South Dakota Mines?
Yeah, I mean, number one, people ask me all the time, what led to our success? Well, number one, we had a great talent level, especially young men. But, at South Dakota Mines, at Missouri S&T, at whatever XYZ engineering STEM school, I think it's important that you recruit guys that fit that, right? And so it's a different kind of recruiting. Instead of going to the AAU tournament and watching all 5,000 kids that are there to be recruited, your funnel kind of is narrowed down already. You have to kind of do your homework before you get there and find those guys that are looking for the STEM and engineering. And not everybody maybe on our roster completely is going to be engineering and STEM, but we specialize in that. That's our strength, so let's embrace it. And then we can have a few guys that maybe are in business or whatever other degree. So, that's my goal. That's going to be my recruiting philosophy. I think being at South Dakota Mines, being our niche or our specialty, that puts us in the door with, some student athletes that a lot of other schools can't get in there. And now you have to go beat out, the other top engineering schools and, win a few of those recruiting wars to get high-level kids. And, we were fortunate enough to do that at Missouri S&T, and it's led to a lot of success. The retention and continuing to bring in freshmen that help you and then, grow and, again, retain and develop is another, advantage of being at South Dakota Mines, and now we have to make that happen. But, we have a special group. I think at the end of the day, you obviously have to have a talented group. You have to have a group that fits together with their strengths. And then ultimately, they have to make sacrifices for each other. I think we had multiple guys this year that, ideally probably weren't in their ideal role, but they didn't complain once. They didn't say anything. They didn't ask for more playing time. They embraced it and were as good as they possibly could be. And so special teams are led by the players, and I truly believe that if we can be a player-led program that has talented players that are unselfish and hungry to win, then that was what we had this year at Missouri S&T, and that's the goal moving forward here at Mines.
Hard Rocker fans getting excited for it. New men's basketball coach on the ground, ready to go at South Dakota Mines. It's Michael Eisman comes through from Missouri S&T. Michael, good to have you. We'll talk to you again. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Nate. I appreciate it, and look forward to being on in the future, and look forward to meeting everybody in the community. If you see me out and about, please stop me and say hi. I'm excited to be involved and as involved as I possibly can be. So thanks a lot, and go Hard Rockers.
I appreciate your time. Coach Michael Eisman, new men's basketball coach, South Dakota Mines on South Dakota Sports Talk Show tonight. Hard Rockers have a new men's coach. That's him. And a new women's coach. We'll talk to her as well next week. I made that plan. See how that works? Hard Rockers going new men's coach, new women's coach on the basketball side. Let's go Thursday happy hour tonight. This is it. It's big time. 45 minutes away from the draft, and Rob Kagron is in studio to find out what his New York Giants are going to do. They've been featured on my show 3 times with 3 different segments. We'll make it 4 next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Get everything you need for your flooring project at Menards. MS International has a great selection of flooring to help you update your home. From beautiful ceramic tile to luxury vinyl plank and laminate floors that resemble real wood. Get the floor of your dreams at Menards. Stop in today and check out all our flooring options, and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
It seems like the cost of everything is going up, so it's nice to save a little dough when you can, especially for something you love to eat every day. Before I go grocery shopping, I print out a coupon for $1 off any Country Hearth, Village Hearth, or Artisan Hearth bread product. My favorite is Dakota Style 12 grain. My wife's breakfast go-to is a toasted Village Hearth English muffin. We can save $1 on each. Go to countryhearthbreads.com/coupons and print 1 or 2 out before your next shopping trip. And don't forget, Country Hearth, Village Hearth, and Artisan Hearth bread products are baked locally and delivered fresh daily.
Are you thinking about starting or expanding a business? At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our dedicated business lending team focuses on understanding our members' unique needs and truly wants to help them succeed. From the loans to get your business off the ground to the accounts to keep it running, we offer unique products with your business's best interest in mind. Learn more at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Rain likely tonight, otherwise overcast. Lows dip down to about 34. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance for mixed precipitation changing to all rain. Tomorrow, highs level off around 47. Overcast skies. Slight chance of rain showers. Tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 41. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 35 degrees.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger? Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Driving around the Black Hills looking for a quick and easy stop to fix your cravings? Why not try Black Hills Coffee Cabin? Black Hills Coffee Cabin is the gateway to Hill City, serving the best specialty drinks in the Black Hills, like Dark Canyon Coffee branded espresso, as well as offering house-made pastries and breakfast burritos. We also have a variety of non-coffee drinks, including smoothies. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Conveniently located at 23828 Highway 385 as you enter the heart of the Black Hills. That's Black Hills Coffee Cabin in Hill City.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Hey, welcome in. The Nate Brown Show is live. NFL Draft Night tonight. Let's get popping here. It's Thursday Happy Hour, brought to you by the Skybox, Rapid City's best sports bar downtown. When you're in Rapid City, hit the Skybox. The draft will be on tonight. And, of course, all your favorite games, your team is on the Skybox downtown, right above the Firehouse on Main Street. Happy Hour with my friend Rob Kegron. Rob Kegron is in. This is a beauty. I just thought, this is amazing. I got so excited at the beginning of this week for your New York Giants. You're a New York City native, and this is the night where the Giants are picking number 3, and you have to be excited. I mean, I'm excited for you. I'm juiced. I'm ready, and we're going to go pick number 3. The New York Giants select Abdul Carter. And, really? That's what you're going to do tonight. You're going to mess this up tonight. You tell me. You're going to screw it up because you guys are scared, just like my Broncos were with Josh Allen in 2018. We took Bradley Chubb. What a rush edge. What did he do? Not much. Get back to me after Abdul Carter here in 5 years. You're going to mess it up tonight.
You're coming out hot tonight, huh? You are fired up. This is as fired up I've seen you in a long time.
I'm more passionate than you on
this. You are. Yes, that's what they're going to do. They're going to draft Abdul Carter. Absolutely. I'm not I'm probably on your side on this part of it. I'm not exactly sold on Abdul Carter. Now, if it were Travis Hunter, I'm all in. 100% all in. He's not going to make it to 3. So we're not going to get him. I think Abdul Carter has great talent, right? And I think he could trend in the Micah Parsons direction. My fear with him is injuries, right? He's already injured right now. He's been injured a number of times. I don't know that he can do it, but I get why they're going to do it, right? And
I do too. They're scared.
No, they're not scared. They're not scared. I mean, why would you say scared?
Because they don't want to do another Daniel Jones. It's the perfect thing. The Broncos did Paxton Lynch. They got scared because they didn't want to do Josh Allen. Well, we don't want to screw this up again, so let's just take a good player that's safe, and we can tell our fans like Rob Kagron, we're doing a good job, Rob. We got a good player, and everybody will tell you he's a nice player for the next 4 years. And you got, he's a good player. And Shedeur Sanders is going to go to Pittsburgh, and the rest is history.
I'm gonna mention some names to you, okay? I want you to pay attention real carefully now, Nate. Open your ears.
I'm ready.
Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
Kenny Pickett. Okay. Zach Wilson.
Yeah, you're not telling me that.
Trey Lance.
You're not telling me that Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, right? I mean, Kenny Pickett would have went to Colorado and he would have ended up in the hills somewhere doing something else. This is Shedeur Sanders. This is Deion Sanders. This is a guy who's won games. That's what Shedeur has done. He's won games wherever he's been.
Do you think he's a no doubt about it home run talent? I don't. I absolutely do not think that.
But the difference is, here's my argument. I don't know if you've heard this. If you're top 5 and you have to have a QB, and the Giants need one. If you're top 5, you aren't going to get there very often. You got to do it. Swing. You got to swing. But you can't watch the pitch go by and it's out.
See, this is what I agree in principle that you need a young quarterback. But I don't think that you have to be in the top 5, right? I think there are ways to trade up in other years when you know that there's great talent.
And you give up a lot. You give up so much, you make your head spin.
But it's teams have won doing this. It's not as if it doesn't work out. I mean, the one I always think about is the Rams going up, and being able to get a guy like Goff or something like that, right? Where they take their opportunity when you get that chance.
But you got to give up stuff, and you still take the chance. You're sitting there at number 3. This is the golden time. This is it, the golden age.
Can you take a guy at number 3 that you're not sure is the real deal? You're not sure. Don't you at 3 have to take a guy who you think can win playoff games for you?
You're just not sure.
All-pro, essentially?
You're not sure on anybody. You're not sure. I'm not sure Abdul Carter can go up against an offensive lineman and wreak havoc. He didn't do that well against Notre Dame. You may want to watch.
And that part I agree with you on. I'm not sure on Abdul Carter either. You got to take somebody, though. I think you set your organization back way more by taking a bust QB than you do by taking a bust edge rusher.
You just try it again. Because that's what the Titans are doing tonight. They just had Will Levis. Forget it.
But Will Levis wasn't. But Will Levis was a back end first round pick, was he not? Or even a second round pick, I think he was.
Yeah, second. But they tried it.
Okay, but there, right? You're taking a second. You're wasting the third pick, which should be the third pick of any draft. Should be a generational talent. Now, I think Shedeur has the possibility that he could be a big time quarterback. I'm not sure on him, though. I'm not sure on him like I was last year with a guy like Jaden Daniels, who I loved. I wish the Giants would have went up and find a way to get him. Now, Washington wasn't going to trade with them, right? A guy like C.J. Stroud, who I loved, right? I think when it's a guy like that, I can understand. But the consensus is now, Nate, let's be fair.
Consensus, I love this.
The consensus is that when the Giants don't take him at 3, he is going to drop all the way to Pittsburgh at 21. Now, that's saying that there isn't another team that wants or needs a quarterback. Why are the Saints not going to take him? Because they don't trust him either. There's something off about this talent, right?
Yeah.
Good, not great.
I don't think so, because the consensus was that Jalen Hurts wasn't going to be any good, that Russell Wilson wasn't going to be any good. Josh Allen was. The Broncos said, we can't take the risk.
Okay.
We can't do
Hurts,
it.
See, I think you're throwing guys in there that shouldn't count. Hurts, second round pick.
Yeah,
who was the other guy you just mentioned?
Russell
Wilson, second round pick.
They missed those guys.
Right, but so then go get a guy in the second round, right? Draft a big time talent at number 3. Go back up at the end of the first round and get Shedeur or Jackson Dart. Well, I think they're going to take Dart anyway. I think if they have an opportunity at the end of the first round to go back in or at the top of the second, they're going to take Dart.
Boy.
They're going to take Dart. They're not going to take Shedeur.
So
I think there's something about Shedeur they don't like.
You seem a little concerned. I think you would like to see Shedeur read off at number 3. I think you'd like to see that tonight.
I would not, because I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold that he's a big-time generational NFL quarterback.
I'm sold on when you take Abdul Carter, you're going to just keep swimming through oatmeal. It's a grinder. You ever swim through oatmeal? You're just trying to you can't get out of there.
But we got your guy. How could you have this whole soliloquy here, this whole diatribe, and we got your guy, the guy that you love. You are his number one fan.
Russell Wilson, I'm fine. So take Shedeur, grow with him. It's perfect. That's what you do.
No, see, and this is where I disagree with you.
Build around a rookie
If you take
QB.
Shedeur, he plays. You take Jackson Dart at the end of the first round, the second round, he can be there and sit on the bench for a year or two behind Russ.
Shedeur doesn't play at 3. By the way, you're not going to take him. But again, I wrote it down here. Are they going to make the big mistake like the Broncos? And it's a perfect storm. Daniel Jones was a screw-up. They did it. They're scared. Brian Daboll doesn't want Shedeur. I need a good player. I'll just go with Russ. Hey, Brian, you'll be fired here after week 12.
Okay. So this is where I think your point really lacks. If anyone needs to draft a quarterback, it's Joe Schoen, the general manager of the Giants, and Brian Daboll. They know, right? If you draft a quarterback and get it right, and let's just say they win even just 7 games, but you found your guy, right? It's kind of like the Patriots last year. At the end of the season, we both felt like Drake May is the guy, right? I don't know that he's going to be perfect, but you felt like you had something, right?
Yeah.
I think you could say the same thing about your guy, Bo Nix, right? You felt by the end of the year, this is a guy you can win with.
Yeah.
Okay. What better opportunity, just as you say at number 3, if they love Shedeur, because all you have to show by the end of the season is that you have something, and you'll get more opportunity to be there. They clearly are not sold on this guy, Nate.
That's the point.
It's not scared. They don't think he's the big-time quarterback that you think he is.
No, they're scared. They are scared. By the way, if you don't do it, you set your team back like the Broncos. So you say, well, Abdul Carter, if he messes up, it's what it is. If you don't have a QB, you set yourself back. You're starting from square one. What are you going to go get? Somebody else next year? You waiting for Arch Manning here?
That's who I'm waiting for. That's what I'd be looking for sure. I love the Mannings.
Oh, Eli to Arch.
Why
Wouldn't
not?
it be something?
Why not? Eli's a winner. Eli is a champion, a 2-time Super Bowl winner.
If you're in line to get Arch Manning, then you're going to have a rough year or two.
And I'm okay with that. But what sets us back more, Nate? Drafting Shedeur and him busting, or drafting Abdul Carter and having him busting? Drafting Shedeur and busting
big miss.
Sets us back way more. More.
It's a rookie deal. It doesn't cost you anything. It
cost you 4 years.
Abdul Carter.
You're not going to give up on him before 3 or 4 years.
Those rush edge, they come around every year. Abdul Carter, you can get a rush edge anytime.
Which is why you can replace that guy. If Shedeur isn't the guy, you're sitting around for 3 or 4. Think about Daniel Jones. He had 1 good year. He set us back 6 years, essentially. Right? Because we had to give him another contract.
That's why you're scared tonight.
It's not scared.
It's unbelievable. It's John Elway 2.0. I can't take Josh Allen. I don't want to take Josh. I'm worried. Oh,
how many guys did John Elway draft as quarterbacks? They all stunk, right? He kept doing it over and over again and kept getting it wrong.
That's the problem, and that's the
we
Giants'
haven't
problem.
done it.
You're going to have another problem tonight. So good luck with Abdul Carter. I hope you're still here in 5 years. I believe you will be.
I would
You're
prefer
a
us
strong guy.
to trade out of the pick if somebody would come up and want to go get Ashton Genty or something like that. Trade back to 5 or 6.
By the way, how many good defensive linemen do you guys need on the Giants? I'm not even a Giants fan. You guys got a good D line, and you're going to add another guy? What's the deal? Abdul might not even start. He might not even start.
I don't remember I should say, I don't know if you remember the Super Bowls that we won, particularly against the Patriots.
I do.
We had a dominant defensive line. It still wins football games.
You got a good one right now is what I'm saying. You don't need another guy.
You can never have enough defensive linemen. Never.
Okay, by the way, Shedeur Sanders not going to go to your Giants, and it's a big miss. Where is he? You think the Steelers?
I think the Steelers at 21. I think
the Browns are going to trade back in. The Browns are going to get Travis Hunter tonight at number 2.
The Browns may trade out of number 2. The Browns may trade. Yeah, Schefter was just tweeting about it. Lot of chatter. A lot of chatter.
You're hoping that they'll trade out of 2 so you can try and, I don't know, maybe you think Travis Hunter will magically end up in your lap.
He won't, unfortunately.
Brian Daboll's got a better chance to keep his job than that happening. Okay, let's get to this. Which NFL team has the worst reputation in picking draft picks? I have my number 1. We'll ask Rob Kegron next.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Military, first responders, teachers, Renewal by Anderson is offering a heartfelt thank you with its first ever appreciation sale. 20% off every window and door, no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Plus an additional 9% off if purchased on the initial consultation. That's 29% off. Military, first responders, teachers, this is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Please book your free estimate right now at rbarapidcity.com.
Do you have a financial game plan for your life? Hi, this is Lee Cruz, your local trusted New York Life agent here in Rapid City. My passion is helping you put the pieces in place for your family to make sure your game plan is a success. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping people like yourself take action in securing their future. Don't wait, take action and Google Lee Cruz New York Life or call 605-360-8804. We will work together on putting your family first.
Hey, sports parents and ballers of all ages, Rapid City has a new sports facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org. We're talking with Rihanna Wickett at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy for another Elevate Performance Health Minute. Rihanna, as we all get older, one of the most common injuries, pains, back pain.
We see it every day.
There's a lot of things that can cause it, right?
Absolutely. There's a multitude of different things that can cause back pain, whether that's strength or something that you did, you tweaked it. So it's really important that we get you looked at and figure out what's actually causing that, because so many things can cause the different types of back pain.
Okay, so what's interesting about it, you could have pain in the back, but then there's also a problem with your back, and now that turns into sciatica.
Yeah, sciatica, it tends to come down through the buttock into the leg, and back pain generally just stays right within the back. You might have something traveling, numbness and tingling, pain shooting down past the knee even, all the way to the foot. We definitely want to get that taken care of sooner than later.
Back pain relief, sciatica relief. Get started at elevateperformancesd.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show. Lively tonight. I was ready for this. I told you it was going to be fun with Rob Kegron tonight. Thursday happy hour on Fox Sports Radio. Brought to you by the Skybox, Rapid City's premier sports bar downtown. Great burgers, great food, the Firehouse beers. Just hit the Skybox. Watch the game at the Skybox downtown. It is on right above the Firehouse, Main Street. Rob Kegron in studio on the Nate Brown Show. This is double duty. You did radio. You were on Chris Mad Dog Russo's show this week. I mean, that's big time.
Big star.
I mean, unbelievable. So you got double duty. Do you get in arguments like this with him on the draft? I mean, you try and shoot it around with Mad Dog?
Yeah, a little bit. But he's not a Shedeur Sanders fan either, right? So he and I agree on this completely.
So that's where you get it.
No, I don't always agree. I disagree with him on plenty of stuff. I agree with him on Shedeur.
All right, I need to have a battle with Chris Mad Dog Russo again. We had him in studio in the summer. That was a beauty. Okay. Here's a fun one. I asked the audience. I got a ton of text messages in the first hour. So if you're just joining us here in the second hour on South Dakota Sports Talk Show, text line 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. Question of the day. Which NFL team has the worst reputation over the years as an organization that has no clue what they're doing in the draft? One came to mind right away for me. I have a few picks on my mind right away. They're number one. So I'll go to Rob Kegron. Who comes to your mind?
Yeah, I have a few in my head, too. I could go in a lot of different directions here, to be quite honest. I've been hesitant to say this one, but to me, I'm saying it because they've had so many bizarre, off-the-wall picks. Not that all of them are busts, but head scratchers. What are they doing here? And you might criticize me for this, but I honestly think it's the Raiders.
That's number one. That's me.
Is that what you were going to say?
That's it.
Oh, how about that?
The Raiders. It is the Raiders.
The Raiders, sometimes, I don't know what the heck they're thinking. Like, I mean, this is a team that drafted Janikowski in the first round. Right? I mean, like, they've drafted kickers and punters in the third and fourth round. Like, what on earth are they doing? They've had so many busts throughout the years. You know, even when a guy like Mike Mayock, who's supposed to be this tremendous talent evaluator, so many guys that he drafted were complete busts. They've never. When's the last time they drafted a quarterback even that did anything in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, you can't think of it. Their biggest one was Jamarcus Russell.
Oh,
maybe one of the all-time busts of all time.
Could be the greatest bust of all time. Absolutely could be.
Number one pick out of LSU. He was the number one pick. The Raiders. He has everything. And
how many games did he play?
I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
That was Ryan Leaf level. I mean, it was that level. So I put Raiders there, just those stories. I mean, they went with Henry Ruggs, where it was like, okay, he was a fast guy and stuff, but he wasn't the best wide receiver on the board. And they're like, we're going to go with Henry Ruggs.
He wasn't the best receiver on his team on Alabama.
Yes.
Right? Wasn't at all.
No. So, and we know his story ended up badly. But listener text coming in. There's a lot of people voting the Browns. So I think their reputation says the Browns stink. They've gotten some right, but I don't know if they're saying Johnny Manziel, that was a mess.
Absolutely.
Tim Couch of a long time ago, that was a huge pick. It was bad. So and the Browns did, they messed up. But they got Myles Garrett. They did Baker Mayfield. You could say, was that a bad pick at number one? Well, he's okay.
In retrospect, for that draft class, yes, it probably was. It was a bad pick.
Yeah, in retrospect, so they went one overall. At least he's an NFL guy.
Yep, and he's still playing, and he's still starting, and he's making playoff games. I think they get a bad rap for some of those. I agree with you. But defensively, they've drafted fairly okay, right? Their mistakes have been on the offensive side, but they've had a lot of guys over the last few years that are big-time defensive players that they've taken. And so I can't go crazy on them. To me, the Jags would be another one.
Put the Jags in. We got listeners that said the Jags. Pro Football Focus did a study of who has picked first-round players that had careers. And so they said, we're going to find the teams that picked first-rounders that are no longer playing since 2014. Raiders are in the mix as one of the worst.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's factual. The Jaguars are in the Pro Football Focus list. They said they've had a ton of picks. They've whiffed.
Yep.
Patriots. And that one might surprise you, but you think about it, you're going, did Bill Belichick really draft good guys?
He did initially, right? Like the first, 10 years or so, right?
Lately?
But the last 10 years or so, no. He missed on so many.
Yes.
And he's one of these guys that thinks he's, sometimes I think these GMs outsmart themselves a bit, right? Like, I got to trade down to get 4 or 5 more picks. Why? Go get a guy. Go get some real talent. And I think he thought he could always find these mid-major, these smaller programs.
I'm going to develop them.
They're high football IQ. Sometimes, you need that, but you actually need some physical prowess in the game of football.
So Pro Football Focus said the worst drafter since 2014, Raiders, Jaguars, Patriots, and then theirs is the Titans.
Yeah, I could see that too.
I don't
Absolutely.
remember much from the Titans, but our listeners, we got listener reaction. Browns, Jaguars, Patriots. Somebody said the Cowboys. I said, actually, no, when you look at them, they hit pretty good.
Yeah, the Cowboys draft, they do well in the draft. They just are terrible when it comes to free agency.
Carolina Panthers just got a vote. I can't remember much there.
Yeah.
Cam Newton.
Yeah, Bryce Young.
But Cam Newton was
Cam Newton was, I mean, he was an all-pro.
Player. Pretty good player. Bryce Young lately.
Yep.
So maybe that's like, that was a miss.
The Jets would be the other one for me. The Jets have had
absolutely.
so many bonehead drafts over and over. Now, again, they've gotten some right, with Darrelle Revis. They who's the kid from Sauce Gardner, right? They get those ones right, but how many guys have they gotten wrong? I mean, and quarterback in particular.
Zach Wilson, the latest.
Zach Wilson, Darnold. I know he was good last year, but he was terrible for the Jets.
Right.
Mark Sanchez, the king of the butt fumble, if you remember, against the Patriots on Thanksgiving night.
Mark was okay. By the way, I put this out on Twitter. Tell me your worst reputation team over the years when it comes to drafting players. 40% of our audience tonight voting on Twitter at Nate Brown Show, Raiders.
Yeah.
40% Raiders, 28% Browns, 21% Jets, and the last one that came in, Bears at 11%. The Bears.
Well, I mean, the Bears did draft Mitch Trubisky and actually traded, I'm pretty sure, to go from 3 to 2 to get him.
They've struggled.
Yes.
I mean, think about the Bears. They've struggled. They
Absolutely.
got Caleb Williams now.
Yep.
They couldn't mess that up like your Giants are going to do tonight.
Here we go.
So Caleb, you never know about Caleb, right? You never know if he's going to be good or not. Well, they had to take him. You got to swing, man. I keep trying to tell you this.
But that's they had the first overall pick. Of course they were going to take a quarterback. 6 quarterbacks were taken last year in the first 12 picks.
Atlanta said, we're going to take it. We're in the top 10. We're going to take Michael Penix. I don't care what Rob Kagron has to say about it. We're going to take Michael Penix. He's a player.
But Nate, looking back, those 6 guys have had some level of success in their first year. No one thinks that about Shedeur Sanders other than you.
Let's just
and I got your guy. He's my quarterback, Russell Wilson. Your guy. Your favorite. I mean, you got a shrine to him in your house.
How do you know that Shedeur's not going to be good? You act like he's just settled.
There are plenty of analysts who don't think he's ready to be a big-time NFL quarterback.
I love the analysts. They're right.
I listened to Dan Orlovsky the other day, and boy, he was not sold on Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I know, but he is sold on this loaded class of next year. He just put it out. Penn State, Drew Aller.
I don't like Drew Aller either.
That's a can't miss, Dan. Nico Aliava, who went from Tennessee to UCLA and might end up at Rapid City Stevens. I'm not sure, but boy, those are can't miss. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you playing. Listener text coming in. The Bears drafted Turd Bitsky.
Yeah, they did.
I haven't heard that one. I have not heard that. Listener text 605-720-1067. Join the conversation. I don't like this one. Listener text. The Broncos have dumb, stupid draft choices.
They did for a while.
I like some of ours.
The last few, for sure.
Miller? You ever heard of Von Miller?
Pat Surtain.
Yeah, Pat's, pretty good.
Yep.
Now, we missed on Josh Allen. It set us back a long time, 8 years.
Yep.
And let's see, how old will we be 8 years from now? We look back on this Giants miss.
Be over 50.
Pull the
white hair out of my head.
Giants miss. It's coming up in 15 minutes. Okay, we're going to cover the draft live on Fox Sports Radio. Until then, I want to jump out of this a little bit. We've talked a lot of draft tonight. So fans did a chant last night during the Warriors-Rockets game. Rob Kagron's a fan. He's a New York City fan. Rough, tough. Is this over the line last night? Steve Kerr, the Warriors head coach, said it was. We'll discuss next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Military, first responders, teachers, Renewal by Anderson is offering a heartfelt thank you with its first ever appreciation sale. 20% off every window and door, no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Plus an additional 9% off if purchased on the initial consultation. That's 29% off. Military, first responders, teachers, this is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Please book your free estimate right now at rbarapidcity.com.
Rapid City forecast. Rain likely tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows around 35, northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Slight chance for mixed precipitation changing to all rain. Daytime highs approaching 47. Slight chance of rain showers tomorrow night, 41. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 36.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Hi, I'm Bill at Wire for USA. If you're looking for internet, TV, security systems, or cell booster systems, why would you look at a company that only gives you one choice for each of these systems? Wire for USA offers it all. Viasat, Hughes, CenturyLink, Dish TV, DirecTV, Wilson cell booster systems, and now Starlink and EchoStar internet systems. Starlink and EchoStar are the newest, the fastest, and the strongest satellite internet made. No limit, no contract. Wire for USA has it. Call 605-341-5361. Whatever your home or business needs are, call Wire for USA for the products and the service. You don't need training wheels with our system. Connect to the future with Wire for USA at 605-341-5361. We are hometown, we are South Dakota, and we do appreciate your business. 605-341-5361. See us at our new location, 710 North La Crosse Street in Rapid City.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, fun night tonight on the Nate Brown Show. Hope you're enjoying a Thursday, and it's draft night moments away. Coming up on Fox Sports Radio, live coverage of the NFL Draft. The Nate Brown Show is on, South Dakota Sports Talk Show with Rob Kegron in studio every Thursday. It's happy hour, brought to you by the Skybox, Rapid City's premier sports bar, right above the Firehouse, the place to watch the draft, the NBA playoffs, the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. On at the Skybox, Main Street, Rapid City. I got a listener text that just came in. Are you and Rob going to bet on the NFL draft? Are you going to bet anything, they say, on the NFL draft? Well, I got something you just told me during the break. You had this pipe dream that you just had during the break that the Giants are going to be able to steal Travis Hunter at number 3 because the Bears are going to trade all the way up to number 2, and they're going to get Abdul Carter because they think Abdul Carter's better than Travis Hunter. You want to bet? I mean, you want to bet on that?
I don't want to because I'm hoping that into existence, wishing it into existence. But there was just a little scuttlebutt on Twitter, and I'm just trying to hang my hopes on that. But no, I'm not gambling. Gambling on the draft is odd.
Ooh, it's tricky. I haven't done it. I might have done it once. When I thought the Broncos were going to take Justin Fields, and they decided not to there either. We might have been in better shape by now if we had Justin, but that's another story.
I don't know about that. I'm not a big Justin Fields fan.
We'll see where this goes tonight. Let me go to last night. So NBA playoffs on. People are saying, I haven't watched the NBA. NBA playoffs ratings first week up, highest in 25 years.
Yep, they've
highest
been good.
in 25 years. So that's big. Big brands in there, Lakers and the whole thing. So the Warriors playing last night against the Rockets, and I usually watch the late games. So I'm watching the Nuggets play. I'm watching the Lakers-Wolves. I'm watching this Warriors series, the 9 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Mountain. So I'm watching the late games. The fans in Houston getting to Draymond Green. Draymond is fireball. We know it. Blank you, Draymond. That was the chant from the entire crowd. Steve Kerr talked about it after the game. He said, you just can't have it. He goes, it's over the line. You can't have it. Is that the case? Whole crowd here. I mean, it's bad now.
I'm going to preface this. I'm not a Steve Kerr fan. I don't particularly like him. I don't like some of the stuff he says, and I'm not trying to get into the weeds on this. I don't like Draymond Green at all.
You don't like Steve Kerr, you don't like Draymond.
I can't stand either of them. But to me, the difference is it's the profanity, right? There's a way to really go after an opposing team's player that can be creative, that can be tough on them, but you don't have to. I think that's where it goes too far. It's the profanity, not that they're going off on.
I think that's what Steve was saying is that word over and over. He said that's just crossed the line, and he said, "Hey, you're going to have some taunting. You're going to deal with this." That crossed the line. The Rockets fans.
I'm all for the taunting. I'm just not for the profanity. Find a different way to do it. Draymond is a villain. There's no reason not to go after him. But you don't have to use the F word, right? Like, this is still a basketball game, right? I mean, there's still a ton of kids in that arena last night, right?
Yes.
And I think that's where it goes too far. Like, is this language I'd want I have an 11-year-old daughter. Is this language I'd want her to hear? If she was at the game with me last night, I don't want her to hear that.
No,
right? So it's too much.
Just kind of gets, I've been at games where this is going. You have, right?
I grew up in New York City. I mean, you go to a Yankee game, Yankees versus the Red Sox, and my gosh, would they every other word? I mean,
yes.
I mean, it's a lot of that, and I think that goes too far.
You do.
I really do.
I mean, the New York fans, the Philly fans, they don't care about this stuff.
Philly's the worst of them all. They're terrible at it. But I do think you can be aggressive, you can be harsh to another player, but you don't have to use that language. I think there's a way to do it without doing that.
I asked that our fan chants like that one to Draymond over the line. Steve Kerr says it was. I'm in agreement on that. I mean, it's just the simple fact. I think if you're a family guy, you're saying it's not like kids are sheltered their whole life, Rob. I mean, they're not going to be sheltered, but the whole arena doing it over and over. They could even chant Draymond's name. Draymond. I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff.
You can be very creative and really going after the guy and trying to get under his skin. You don't have to use foul language.
By the way, before we go to the NFL draft, I want to get to our last subject. There's this transfer portal thing going on with NIL money flying around. We know what's going on. So if you followed this Tennessee thing, Nico, the Tennessee quarterback, Ima Aliava, he left Tennessee because he wanted more money. They didn't give it to him. Josh Heupel, a South Dakota guy, the head coach said, no, he goes to UCLA. The UCLA quarterback goes to Tennessee.
Yep.
And then the brother of Nico this week said, I'm going to leave Arkansas. I'm going to go to UCLA with my brother. The problem is Arkansas Collective paid him $200,000. They announced, we're going to try and get that money back. And everyone thought it was a big deal. Wow, Arkansas's finally taking a stance. Are we saying we're giving out money and not, if a kid leaves, we don't get it back?
You absolutely shouldn't. If these players, these college athletes, they want money, and I've been all for it. You know that. I've said it many times in this program. I'm all for them getting money, right? Colleges print money through athletics, particularly through college football. But there got to be some responsibility now, guys, right? You want to go get money for playing, we need them to sign something, right?
He went there in January to Arkansas. He's been there for spring football, January. Supposedly got $200,000 as one of the payments, and they want to get it back. What if he spent it? What if he already spent it? What if he bought 3 cars?
I'd sue him. I'd sue him not just for the $200,000. I'd sue him for that plus interest. Right? We gave you this money to come play football for us, right? Not to be here for 5 months and then go somewhere else.
I'm with you. How can this be a business model that, I mean, how many kids would do this? Hey, I can get away with this?
And this is the problem with the Wild West of the NIL portal stuff, right? Somebody's going to have to regulate this and have some rules here, right? Someone is going to have to say to these players, You made a commitment. You got to be there for a year, right? You don't want to be there a year later? Fine. But you have to be there for a year. You cannot go play somewhere else with our $200,000. No.
Arkansas trying to get $200K back, and people act like it's a big deal. Like, wow, I can't believe they're doing that. That's interesting. I can't believe schools haven't done that.
Especially if you didn't play at all. You didn't play one game for the team.
Yes, just spring ball. That's it. Amazing. Okay, draft night. It's going to go down in history on the Nate Brown Show. You never thought you'd hear it. Rob Kegron, his team's going to blow it. Good luck. Rob Kegron in. Skybox Happy Hour in the books. The Nate Brown Show podcast going up right now. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the draft.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.